What is up there, ladies and gentlemen? Thanks for checking out Shin88 Gaming, and welcome back to Armored Core 6. If you missed the last few, we're making our way through the game, just doing the Fires of Raven ending. And the sort of challenge run aspect of this one is that we're only using the pre-built ACs. So those being the ones that you unlock through the arena that are basically the other AC pilots' ACs. It's been a pretty decent time so far. In the last episode, we actually did a little bit of a boss rush. We took out the Cleaner, Sea Spider, and Balteus in a single episode, so that was something. This time is going to be a little bit more of a grab bag. We finished the last one with Sea Spider, and then launching ourselves recklessly across the ocean into the ice, which seems slightly unwise, but it worked out. This dude's actually really, really good. So, I'm more than happy to use this AC.
Got a job for you, 621.
As per usual, Walter. As per usual.
Attention, Gun 13 Raven. This job comes from our subsidiary, Dafeng. The operation will take place in the central ice fields, Yalmar Mine. We want you to stage an attack on the Arquebus survey camp located there.
Well, if there's one thing I'm good at,
After
it's
digging into the
staging
ice field,
attacks.
Arquebus launched survey drones to gather data. Whatever they found, it
Now, it's actually been a little bit
clues as to the
since
whereabouts of the core
I recorded the
convergence.
last one, so taking a little break from Armored Core.
Your job is to
And
seize the
as I
data.
come back to it, as per usual, I'm just reminded of
We're
how much I
counting on
love
you,
this
Gun
game.
13.
I just absolutely adore it. And I think it deserves all the praise that it gets. All right, let's hop right in.
621. Are you still hearing things?
Do you mean my brain wife? Yes.
Tell me if it happens on the job. I'll make adjustments.
This actually goes back to what I think I mentioned in the last episode. Canonically, if you pay attention to the story, 621 actually does speak. You're just like a silent protagonist, but it's implied that he does talk.
Commence mission. Extract the data.
Just a man of few words.
Then get out.
Or I guess there's nothing that 100% says 621 is male, but I think the concept art, he looked like male. I don't know. Maybe it's the self-insert part, but I always pictured 621 as a dude.
621. Eliminate obstructions as you see fit.
So those plasma missile launchers carried me through much of my first playthrough. I actually ended up with one on each shoulder, and they are just so good for PvE. Like all the MTs and non-AC enemies just get absolutely destroyed by them. And hey, we got that too. Not too shabby. In fact, plasma weapons in general are just really, really good against non-AC enemies. And also against AC enemies, but specifically they're really good for clearing out trash. Because generally the normal enemies don't have enough ability to kind of dodge out of the way and will just continue to get hit by the plasma. And we're gonna make it up. Yeah. Thought I was gonna have to take the elevator for a second. Or the booster pad. I'm gonna give you just a couple seconds if you want to pause the video and get the lore there. But that's not the primary purpose of this playthrough. I think I mentioned it, oh, hello. Oh, you dodged. It's okay, we've already discussed that the kick is a hard counter, essentially, to the tetrapods. Apparently so is plasma. So anyways, we're going to continue making our way through the series, as you might imagine. Obviously, this is not one of my more watched series. I get it. There's a lot of Armored Core 6 content saturation, or there was. Now people have moved on to Palworld, and actually I've also moved on to Palworld, but I don't really plan on doing any Palworld content for the channel. Probably. But anyways, we were not talking about that. Getting back to Armored Core 6, after we finish this one, I've already mentioned I'm going to post a long play version, so all the way through in a single video, no commentary. But I already have a plan for a second playthrough that I'll probably do just as a long play, not as a commentated one, where I built basically the most American AC of all time, Old Glory, and we're going to stomp our way through the second ending, which should be fun. But I haven't decided. I do want to do a long play of the third ending, but I haven't actually decided what the theme would be. So if you have any ideas, please let me know.
Looks like you ruffled some feathers. Taking their drones back to HQ.
Well, if there's one thing I know how to do, well, it's stage an attack or whatever I said earlier, but if there's a second thing that I know how to do, it's ruffle feathers. I am a raven after all. That was clever, huh? But yeah, anyways, I'm not exactly sure what the theme would be for the third one. I was thinking maybe, like, I don't know. I've done a couple, like, I don't know if you would call them cosplay ACs, where it's like, oh, this is supposed to be, like, a Zaku, or this one is the Sazabi, like, from Gundam. As a rather big Gundam fan. Maybe something like that could be interesting. I don't know, though. I'm still thinking about it. Regardless, it's probably going to be a while before I do that, but yeah, I would definitely be interested in hearing your suggestions.
That must be the independent merc. Shut it down before Balaam gets hold of our data.
Eliminate them, 621.
You can actually die pretty fast on this part. This mission's, like, really easy up until this point.
Wait. Put this down.
Bonk. And then, the Imperial March from Star Wars plays. And the Planetary Administration comes in.
That ship. It's identifying as PCA.
It's the feds. Yeah, if that one catches you off guard, like I said, you can die pretty quickly.
They sent in an enforcement squad.
I'm fighting.
621. That's an LC. The PCA's rank and file, and a big step up from subject guard MTs.
That is very true. These guys are sometimes the bane of my existence because they dodge attacks and it irritates me a lot. See what I mean? But they're really not that tricky. By the way, like 90% of the time, you'll see me like randomly activate my shield. It's because I don't remember which extension part I have. Like, oh, do I have the burst or the shield? I don't actually know. Very well. No. You see what I mean? I'm just getting completely rocked by this LC, which is rather embarrassing. Anyways, his shield's gone, and so is he. Now, speaking of Gundam, there is nothing in this game that makes you feel more like you're playing a Gundam game than taking out one of these warships. Ouch.
Intercept 621.
My bad.
Looks like you're on the deck. Good call.
Boom.
Now smash the bridge, 621.
Enemy propulsion systems compromised.
It's going to blow. Get clear, 621.
AP at 50%.
And then we're just going to float here, assert some dominance. You know the drill. Continue to get smacked by these stupid drones. Could you not? All right.
Looks like the coast is clear.
Well, we're going to be seeing a lot more of those as the playthrough goes on.
Why send an enforcement squad in a warship? Special mission, maybe? Or was it? Wait. Over there.
See, right here, you just play the Imperial March. I'm not going to play it because I don't want my video to get copyright claimed, but if you just imagine it in your head right now, I'm kind of like waving my hands like I'm a conductor right now, you know? Yeah. Planetary Closure Administration.
The PCA, they're coming.
Yeah, I noticed.
Looks like we got
Thanks,
a
though.
little too eager, 621. Us and the corporations both. Hey, Raven. It's me, Rusty. Your old buddy
Rusty!
from the Vespers.
Yeah, I remember you.
Haven't talked since we climbed the wall. I'd love to catch up, but...
Actually, it was Matt
I'll cut
Stomp
to
who
the
climbed the
chase.
wall, if you remember correctly.
The
But
PCA
hey.
has deployed its suppression fleet. And now it's laying down the law all over Rubicon. We've already lost several survey bases, and Balam's in a sorry state too. For their part, the Rubicon Liberation Front sees this as an opportunity. If you ask me, they're counting their eggs before they're hatched. At this rate, the
Yeah, it
corpse
sounds
of
like they're putting
Rubicon
them all
is
in one
dead, and
basket and
mercs
then
will go
counting
down
them.
together.
It's like two
Send
egg
your
metaphors in
request from
one.
the Archibald's
Exception, if you will.
We could use the wall climbers' help.
Okay, I'll get Mad Stomp and have him contact you. Alright.
One new message.
I see you got a call from V4.
Don't be
I've been
eavesdropping on my
contacted as
personal
well
phone calls,
by
Walter.
the Balaam Group. Seems both sides have been forced to halt the coral survey. Check the briefing, 621.
Raven, I've also picked up a job for you. It's not just the corporations who have their eye on you. The Rubiconians do too. Following the PCA's attack, the
I mentioned this on the last episode, but
has established a division
they do a really
in
good job
Central Icefield.
with
This
Air's
job
character.
comes from their commander.
I guess with all the characters. I was gonna say when you never even see her, but then I realized you never even see any of the other characters either, so... Alright, what do we want to do here? Well, first of all, let's switch our AC up here. As much as I would love to just rock through the game as Ring Freddy, we could use my arch nemesis. Alright, we'll just start at the top. One of the more difficult missions in the game, I would say.
This job comes from
Rusty!
the Archibald
Sorry,
Group.
sorry.
Here's the rundown. They want you to attack the Jorgen refueling base, a PCA foothold on Rubicon.
Jorgen.
The target is the energy refinery plant deep inside. Take that out and, well, it ought to slow down their suppression fleet at least. Until recently, Jorgen was one of Balam's coral survey bases. It only took a day for the PCA suppression fleet to commandeer the base.
Yeah, embarrassing.
You'll also find a number of fuel storage tanks that I've marked as pay targets. I want you to be a walking advertisement for opportunities in destruction.
Well, if there's one thing I do... Wait, it's, what was it? Cause, attack something,
A walking
and,
advertisement.
I don't remember what the second one was, but a walking advertisement is definitely number 3.
You're not their mascot,
Yeah, I'm playing as Iguazu right now. I am definitely not their mascot. At least I would hope not. So anyways, yeah, this is one of the more difficult missions in the game. Actually, when it comes to S ranks, this one gave me a heck of a lot of trouble until I realized how to actually do it. So I think I mentioned this in a previous episode, but the conditions for getting a high rank in various missions is not always super clear. Now, generally, a higher score, lower amount of damage taken, and less ammunition used is going to be your key there. So that means you're going to also have to finish the mission quickly. But in this particular mission, the key to actually getting an S rank is destroying as many of those fuel tanks as possible. So you can try and rush through the mission and beat it incredibly quickly, use hardly any ammo and take no damage, and you're still probably not going to get an S rank. Iguazu is a horrible matchup for this thing, by the way. Once we get the shield, though, he's not too bad. Now, I'm actually trying to remember when I recorded this. As I mentioned last time, this is a pre-recorded playthrough. I wanted to get through the entire thing before I started commentating it. I can't actually remember if this was done after the linear rifles were buffed. I think yes, but I'm not actually certain of that, because I don't remember exactly when that was, but that was a while ago, so probably. In the first patch, the, like, I don't remember what they call them, but basically the ballistic weapons were definitely outclassed by energy weapons, and they still kind of are, but the basic rifles were buffed a little bit to be a little bit more competitive. Oh yeah, I said fuel tanks, but also these helicopter transporter thingies. Well, anyways, I'm pretty sure this is post-patch, and in that case, the linear rifle is actually a pretty good choice for taking out the basic enemies. It's also really fun when you're just slightly out of range and it goes dink off the enemy. It's quite funny. So yeah, we could skip this entire section basically, but I'm going to do this as if I were attempting an S rank. Although, using Iguazu, I don't think that I would get an S rank, but hey. Quite honestly, I actually had a little bit of a hard time with this particular mission as Iguazu. Because, you know, Iguazu. I was going to talk more about Iguazu, but it's sort of spoilers for not this ending, but one of the endings, so I think we'll save that for another time. But is actually a pretty interesting character in the sense of not necessarily the character himself, but just the way that they work him into the story. He like spites his way to being more important than you think he would be. It's sort of like Man Literally Too Angry to Die, but slightly alternate version of that. Alright, let's do it. This part is gonna really suck as Iguazu. By the way, if you have not watched my Iguazu in a nutshell video, I would recommend you do so. I'm quite proud of it, even though it was basically a low effort meme video. It wasn't necessarily low effort, but it certainly is a meme. I think it perfectly encapsulates his character. Look at this, I can't even destroy the stupid generator. Ugh.
Target destroyed. Our work here is done, 6-2.
Raven, I'm picking up something in the stratosphere. It's approaching fast.
Can't remember if I spoke about the shields before. I don't know. I personally don't feel that they're really worth it. Like, yeah, they'll decrease the damage a little bit, but I feel like you're better off just having more firepower.
Priority subject for termination. High on the list.
Oh, I'm high on the list. Nice. It would have been way funnier if they were like, ah, Iguazu, he's not even on the list.
Special forces.
Or, Mad Stomp, he's too dangerous, we have to flee. So yeah, this fight can be quite difficult. There's one fast one and one slow one. You know, high mobility and high damage. If you can do this, though, where you sort of divide and conquer, you can actually just trash this guy completely.
Troublemaker, Raven.
I didn't expect this level of resistance, sir.
Wow. That's me.
3-1 Charlie. The lieutenant is down. Roger. Proceeding as planned.
Going back to another thing that I've spoken about already is the quality of the, not necessarily the writing, but the programming. Depending on which order you defeat them in, well, I'm just dodging really, really well. Depending on the order that you defeat them in, the dialogue is actually slightly different, which is cool. You know, they didn't have to do that. They could have just had a generic dialogue play.
Light shoulder ammunition at 50%.
Oh, man. Maybe the shield would be quite useful, because I clearly can't dodge. Oh, there we go. I dodged one. Oh boy. Dodged 2 in a row. Let's go. Okay, well. So yeah, that was actually probably the hardest mission so far. Just based upon the loadout that I picked, I guess.
Both PCA SP craft destroyed.
What I just did there, by the way, with the shield, that's the equivalent of Dark Souls, where you meet another player and you press L1, 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 you know, as a greeting. That's what it was.
We'll have earned plenty of extra pay at least. I think we've done enough to inspire other mercenaries to work for Arquebus.
Alright. You know, as I'm sitting here, I realize I have not picked a video thumbnail for this one. I'm not sure what that's going to be. Thought of putting Iguazu in my thumbnail, just, we might have to pick a different one.
Arquebus Group Mercenary Liaison, V8 Pater here. Impressive work on the refueling base assault. V4 has left me a message addressed to you.
Oh, I love this, this little line delivery.
I knew you could do it, buddy. I've got my eye on you. That is all. We at the Arquebus Group expect...
I love how he has to actually do the voice as well. It's great. Like, seriously, this guy has probably less than, like, 50 lines in the entire game, and you never see him, but he is so incredibly likable. It's great. That could be a good choice. Like I said, we're just going to go down the line here.
We've received a job from the Rubicon Liberation Front. Let's take a look at the request.
Raven, we have a mission we'd like to offer you. The Rubicon Liberation Front is planning to retake the wall from Arquebus, and would like you to lay the groundwork for us.
You better hope that
Your objective
Invincible
is to
Rummy isn't
assassinate
standing up there.
V7 Swinburne, the commander of the
yes.
occupying force. Swinburne has dispatched surveillance squads to monitor for intruders and hired operatives. If our plan to retake the wall is to succeed, you must not be spotted. We're counting on you to handle this discreetly.
So this is one of those missions where you have a couple different ways that you can beat it.
To ambush and eliminate the target undetected,
And yeah, they did put a stealth mission in Armored Core 6, but it's okay. It's a relatively short stealth section. That's relatively forgiving as well.
System activating combat mode.
So anyways, yeah, you can actually do this one a couple different ways. And there are a couple interesting little differences depending on how you choose to do it. We'll get into that in a moment, though. I got some pretty decent firepower here. I can dig it. I feel like missiles are, at least by me, slept on a little bit. If that makes any sense. Like, they're underrated by me. A lot of times I'll choose a more direct approach, but missiles can be really, really useful. Nope. Unfortunately, the stealth here does cause you to auto-fail if you get caught, but like I said, it's pretty forgiving. Like, I'm over here having a full-on, like, gunfight, and only one dude wandered over here, so... There we go. Now, killing that tetrapod is unnecessary to beat the mission, but I'm pretty sure you would have to do that if you wanted to S-rank this one. Perhaps he's out on Night Watch over there.
Detected an AC in combat mode. That must be Swinburne, the target. Target confirmed. It's Swinburne.
So you'll get an amusing little bit of dialogue if you do what I choose to do here.
Let's go.
I mean, we could just
I see.
immediately start
There
shooting
are
at him.
Tired old concern falling further and further behind. I'll have you all sent for re-education. Snail will be pleased to have you.
Oh boy, to the gulags with you.
Back to your post, Grunt. I can handle myself, What?
He's like, wait a second. Yeah, I love that. Like, again, they did not have to do that. They could have easily just had him turn and go, what? And immediately attack you. But he's, like, actually confused. Like, wait a second. You're not one of my friends.
I don't know who led you up to this, but clearly you need to be disciplined. No. I'm Swinburne. I can't lose.
I'll be the judge of that. So first of all, we get that little bit of dialogue that changes depending on how you handle that. And then there are... A shield actually came in handy there. Then there's another little bit in a second here. Yeah, I actually learned last episode not to underestimate that little stun baton. It's much better than I thought it was.
What? Let's not do anything hasty. You realize I lead the Vesper's 7th squad, which means I hold the purse strings. Every single transaction goes through me. I asked you a question. Don't you have any manners? You need discipline.
He totally sounds like an anime villain. So anyways, yeah, obviously you could choose to, like, spare him there. But you could also pretend that you're going to spare him and then kill him. And you'll get unique dialogue regardless.
Confirmed. Target destroyed.
Air will say something to the effect of, wow, did you learn that from Walter?
Let's go home, Raven.
Anyways, he was a little bit too annoying to keep alive, so hey. We got time for one more? I think we got time for one more. I think the next one's a short one.
New message.
So we'll knock it out real quick and then finish up.
Raven, you have our gratitude for eliminating Swinburne. Some of us were worried that the enemy might have won you over. But it seems we can trust you after all. Glad to be on the same side.
Alright, yeah, we'll go ahead and switch it up. Who do we want this time? I want Ring Freddy, but we're not going to do that. We'll go with, yeah, Rokumon-sen. Actually, one of my, I wouldn't necessarily say my favorites, but one of the ones I quite like.
Got a job for you, 621. The Balaam Group sent us a request.
Attention, Gun 13 Raven. This request comes from our affiliate Dafeng. We will be conducting a diversionary operation to attract the PCA's attention. You are to report to the Engebret Tunnel in the Central Ice Field. It's a derelict watch point, slated for restoration by the PCA in the near future. Infiltrate the tunnel, then find and destroy the sensor they're planning to repair.
That sounds pretty simple. I don't see anything that could possibly go wrong with this.
Forces from their local base. Briefing over. Counting on you, Gun 13.
I don't think Dafeng appreciates your true value. I'll talk to them.
Walter, once again, being a bro. He's like, hey, you will treat my dog with respect.
Main system activating combat mode.
Commence mission. Destroy the old sensor at the end of the underground.
So yeah, Rokumon-sen, very speedy, as you can tell.
But it won't be left undefended.
Any AC that has a shotgun is usually going to be one that I enjoy.
Code 1-5, unaffiliated AC. Why?
It's funny because in the old Armored Core games, having, like I mentioned in the previous episode, not played like Armored Core 1 and 2, but played 3, Silent Line, Last Raven, and I think one other one. I always felt that the shotguns were not good, but that is not the case in this one. Specifically because of the, like, stun mechanic. I don't know what they call it. Posture, stun, whatever. I mean, the dual Zimmermans, even post-nerf, is still incredibly powerful. Could you just... Thank you. So, if I didn't already have them, I believe there are a couple parts that you can pick up on this mission.
Just hit it from the inside.
But we're just going to go ahead and kick this thing.
Mission accomplished.
Ah, that was easy.
Core response is getting stronger.
Okay, time to go. Nope, nope. Can we... Yep.
Coral surge. That shouldn't have been enough to... 621, pull out, now. Don't touch the coral current. Your armor can't take it.
Code 1.
I am thirsty for the forbidden Kool-Aid, but I shall resist.
Report your status.
We can answer that later. Get out now, 621.
2 repair kits remaining.
Code 31C. What's the system's verdict?
You're almost to ground level. Hurry, Raven.
I know, but I gotta kill this guy first. It wouldn't be right if I just left him in here to die. Wait. Oh yeah, we also got the little whip. Honestly, not something that I've used a great deal, but it's neat, I guess. Yeah, there we go.
remaining.
The coral's coming.
621, don't fall behind.
Where am I going? Okay, we made it. Woohoo! We survived to AC another day.
Somehow. This job's finished. Head back and rest, 621.
One misstep, and that coral surge would have swallowed you whole. Raven, must you always put your life on the line?
Oh, we're just getting started, Air. We are just getting started. Alright, everybody. That's going to be our last mission for this particular episode. I hope you enjoyed this one. We probably got a little bit of dialogue to finish out here, but, oh yeah. I hope it's Cinder Carla.
How's it going, Walter?
Yes.
Hard to say. 621's still performing well, but I doubt the voices have gone away. At any rate, whatever the voices are doesn't seem to be doing any harm. For now.
For now. Foreshadowing. Anyways, everyone, I want to thank you all very much for watching. We'll be back sooner rather than later with the next episode. Not sure what we got lined up next time, but I'm sure it'll be something exciting. So, until then, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Take care. God bless.